Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing some chill painting with the thought of Christmas in mind. So I'm thinking snowscapes, maybe something that could go on top of a Christmas card, but whatever it is, it's going to be super low pressure. Thank you so much for joining. if if you're watching this live, then you'll know that I kept trying to do it over and over and over and over throughout today, but I wasn't feeling very well, so I kept pushing it back and back and back, which is how we're here now at 3 a.m. But I was determined to do it, and also part of me is pretty sure that it'll help me feel better. So, with that in mind, that is what we're going to do. Let me show you what I have here. And here you go. So I was kindly gifted some watercolor paper by St. Cuthbert's Mill, and I'm going to do a whole separate video about it, but I kind of thought this would be a great opportunity to try it out. So I've done one painting already, which I'll show you, and then I'm going to paint on it again today because this 2023, I'm going to be using cotton paper like it's normal. Hey guys. I know, starting a live stream at 3 a.m. Here's my rationale and my thinking. I've been literally asleep all day. Like I was so wiped out. So I just feel like I have no more sleep in me. Well, which is not true. I do have more sleep in me, but more like if I were to sleep again, I would have done nothing today. I would have literally woken up, realized it's the middle of the night, and then go back to sleep. And I don't want that. So I'm trying to like force myself to do stuff, even though logically, from a time point of view, it doesn't necessarily make sense, which is why I'm still here. So far, my impressions are very, very good. I initially wanted to do like a proper video just showing like painting on it, thanking them, etc., rather than doing a live stream. But the first painting that I did, most of it or part of it, like my phone stopped recording twice. So I didn't really feel like it would be a video that would do it justice. And yeah, I just kind of want to use it. In the end, I think what I will also do is when I do make a video thanking them, I will include the other paintings that I have done. So hopefully it will give it a bit more substance in terms of like the quality of the video. But yeah, they sent it to me. They didn't want a video or anything in exchange. They just sent it to me to see what I thought about it, which is really sweet. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better. I don't know what I sound like because I feel like my hearing isn't quite right either. But let me show you what I did do. Guys, remind me, 2023, I need to start dating my art as well. It's getting unreal. But yeah, so I did this painting and I've recorded most of it and I really enjoyed it. I loved like the blends. Like I feel like that's one of the things that 100% cotton watercolor paper is really making me appreciate just the way that watercolor can blend so nicely into each other, especially because I really don't like blooms, and half the time I'm using cellulose. That is what I'm that is what I'm fighting. I'm laughing at dark roast. Yeah, there will be sniffles. I will try my hardest to mute myself when I'm coughing if I get enough of a warning, or certainly if I have like a proper coughing fit. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed doing this painting, and I don't know if you can like clearly see it, but there's like really nice granulation there. I was just like, this is fantastic. So I'm going to try it again. And I thought it would be nice to do and this is like the sheet I did, because this is basically the colors that I used in this painting. I was trying to like keep a note of what I was doing. So it was ultramarine blue with cypress burnt umber. And if you are a Ko-fi member and you've seen the video that I recently did on my Roman Schmore palette, you'll see that I was mixing those two colors, and it's essentially varying mixes of these two that gave me this, with a bit of quinacridone gold hue to, I guess, make it more like sunsetty, like to make it a bit brighter. Yeah, I'm getting better at writing what I'm using and worse at dating. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Thank you. Oh, that would be awesome. I love painting together. I feel hot and cold, so this is gonna go on and off accordingly. Okay, cool. I thought that it would be nice to try and do the Sarah Burns Do This in Your Style challenge. She recently, it's so funny because she put up on her story, although I think that will mean you won't see me for most of it, but I'll show you. But she put up on her story this video, and when I saw the video, I literally like paused on the video to screenshot it because I was like, this is stunning. And then the next story was her actually having put a screenshot of the same thing that I had screenshot saying, let's do this, like, how about you do this in your style? um so it seemed like perfect. Oh, perfect, excellent. That's kind of sweet. I have a hot water bottle. That's as close as I've gotten to two cats. And yeah, so if you want, then definitely join in. I think it will be fun to do so. I'm gonna split this in half just because I feel that will help me make the most of this paper. And you know, when it almost feels like when you're not 100%, you either come up with like genius ideas or terrible ideas. So if it's going to be a genius idea, I don't mind it taking half the page. If it's going to be a terrible idea, then I certainly don't want it to take the whole page. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of a border because I also want to put the color notes on it once I do the tape peel. Oops, we'll see how exactly that works. Is anyone else painting as well? How's everyone's day going? This isn't quite straight, but it's okay. Both at the same time. Absolutely. Now, I'll do it on this side of the page so that you can see it somewhat clearly. And, ooh, birds. That is super impressive. I haven't painted in gouache in so long. I definitely go through like phases of like 1 second I want to paint with gouache and nothing else, and the other second I want to paint with watercolor and nothing else. And right now I'm very much like on a watercolor kind of flex. So we will see. I think just going to do a rough outline of where I want things, namely the horizon. Is that, I don't know if I want it like this or if I want this a bit lower. This is just a very beautiful picture. Are you guys going to paint along as well? Do you want to see the reference? I reckon that's probably better than watching me silently cough. And part of me wants to like bring this a bit further down so I have more sky. But then I also want like this bit here. We'll see. We'll do it like this. First go. I'll link the video where Sarah Burns talks about this as well once I've completed this. Really, it's taken in Scotland. It's by Sarah Burns. She's also here on YouTube, and she did a painting of it in gouache earlier today. She posted a video of it earlier today. Hey, Painting Hiding. How are you? Welcome. Honestly, I feel so bad. You don't even understand how long it took me. Like I'd wake up and I would be like, oh damn, it's almost 1. I can't go live. I will push it back. I'll be fine by 3, and then I'll be fine by 5, and then I'll be fine by 8. And then at like 8, I was like, I don't even know. I don't think I have it in me to do it today. And then 2 a.m., I was like, okay, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Oh, thank you so much. Which Pentel video? Like Pentel, oh, honestly, I can't even believe how many incredible sponsorships I've had recently, I have definitely been very, very, very fortunate. And one of them was with Pentel, which was really nice because have been using and I like a lot of their stuff anyway. I always kind of thought about it as stationery, so I never really talked about it on YouTube. Um, but then they wanted to collaborate, and I was like, hell yes, I want to collaborate. And they sent such lovely gifts. I'm trying to use a palette. Can you tell? I don't know how this is going to go, but Jackson's very kindly gifted me a palette. Well, they gifted me 2 palettes. This was one of them, and I wanted to try and use it. Let's see. Shall we do a few color experiments? Because I'm looking for scrap paper, as is always the story of my life on live streams. Okay. So I'm just looking for some scrap paper to see. So normally what I do is burnt umber, Cypress burnt umber with ultramarine blue, and I get like really nice grays. But now part of me is wondering if that will be too gray. You see what I mean? These are like, and then the other part of me is like, I want a really bright sky, like I want a phthalo sky. But can I mix phthalo with ultramarine? I get, it's giving kind of, it's giving greeny gray kind of vibe, which is not really the vibe that I'm going for. Do you see what I mean? It sounds crazy, but I almost feel like it would be good to do a whole video on like mixing individual colors. Like in my head, what comes to mind is mixing grays, because I feel like that is a skill on its own. And then I also feel like mixing greens would be a great one because there are so many different greens. Okay, I think I'll just wing it and see what happens. Famous last words, eh? So I'm just adding some water, and there is still like a little bit, tiny bit of blue on my brush, but I think that is fine. And I'm just going to do primarily the sky first. So I'm just wetting the sky. It's a little bit on the wet side, like overly wet side. So I'm just wiping off some of the excess. And then no, it doesn't make sense, but I'm going to go in with, sorry, I'm going to go in with phthalo blue. Oh, I'm watching this video. My bad, Miss Ebony. I will, I'll try my best to stay here a decent amount of time, but I also will not overdo it. I think I overdid it yesterday, but otherwise it's just like you do nothing, you know. I find it hard to strike a balance between like doing nothing and doing too much. So I'm just putting a little bit of my phthalo blue down. And I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna mix in a little bit of ultramarine blue in there as well. Let's see. Like, I think this is too bright. Get some more ultramarine. Just want to see. It's funny because the aim of this is to paint in my style. This is not my style, but I want it to be. It'd be nice to experiment a little bit, no? And then going to add tiniest bit of permanent crimson lake to that ultramarine blue. Did I say permanent crimson lake? Permanent alizarin crimson. I still want it primarily blue, but I just want to add it to like bits of it. Part of the thing that I tend to struggle with skies is making them too dark. So I don't want to make it super dark, but at the same time, I don't want it to be super boring, which is why I'm adding some of that purple while it's all still wet. And this is the bit that perhaps will feel a bit rogue. And that is, I'm going to take, this is still, I'm going to take some of that ultramarine blue here, and I'm going to add some of that cypress burnt umber to try and make like a light gray. And I'm adding that to this bit here. Just as almost like a, onto some bits there and there. Just like, because I want a bit of a yellow in the sun and I don't want to make green. So I'm hoping that if I transition to grey first, I will get that. Just making sure it's like a nice, green is happening, hold on. And then if I were to use a brush that doesn't hold onto water like that, I just want to try and lift up some of that color so that we have some yellow. And again, I lifted it up there, and actually I'm changing my mind a little bit because it's like so central. I feel like I don't want it super central. So I've painted it back in. And I'm just going to lift it up a little bit here. And sorry, I'm slow on the comments. I'll get faster. Okay. I am here. Yeah, Pentel. They are awesome. And I do use their water brush as well. Although I didn't like fully take note of the fact it was Pentel, if that makes sense. River. That's that should be a genuine concern. Yeah, mate. Am I running a fever? I don't think so. I think I've definitely think that I've gone past the fever stage, thankfully, because it was horrible. But hey ho, if some absolute like magic happens because I'm sick, I'll take it. Like, even you remember the paintings, the florals that I've been doing with the background, they all stemmed off when I finished Nights, and then I did a painting with the background, and I was like, oh, why haven't I done this before? And since then I've just been rolling with it. Did I? No, did I? No, I think it's because I sound funny. Dark roast. Welcome back. Oh, I'm so glad that you liked it. Honestly, I find it funny because I feel like, not I feel like the numbers don't lie. When I do videos, oh, I don't like what I'm doing here. When I do videos with my art, they don't tend to do like as well. So I'm always like, should I include it? But then I actually wanted to show, like, I wanted it to be, helpful. And I kind of felt that if I actually created art and I demonstrated what I'm talking about, that would be more helpful than just showing the materials. I'm not feeling the yellow. Can you tell? Not feeling it at all. So we'll have to see what I'll do about that. Part of me feels to just cover it. What do you mean paint? As in you've done a similar video, like you're editing a similar video? That would be pretty cool to see. It's me. It's me. I have the sniffles. Yeah, Peyton Hiding has a great channel. If you haven't already seen it, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it. Just paint a monster at the front. If all fails, I will literally turn to that because I don't know what's going on here. I think what I'm going to do is like let it dry it rather, because I haven't got time to let it dry. So dry it and then see where we stand and see how I feel about the sky. I will let the heat gun play for you guys this time. Unless you want silence, in which case let me know. It's taking really long to dry. You guys are so funny. You know what? I actually feel so much better. I don't know what I sound like, but I was talking to my brother earlier as well, and he was like, and I was complaining to my brother. I'll show my face while we discuss this. Let me remove that bit so you can see me. Yeah. So I was talking to my brother, and I was complaining, saying like, "Oh, I was talking to my dad, and he was sounding like super stressed about me being unwell, and actually, I feel so much better now." So, like, I was basically saying, "Oh, I think I'll just call my dad back when I'm like 100% or better," because he seems to not really be handling me being unwell. He's like, "Oh, you're really, really unwell." And I'm like, "Actually, I'm so much better than I was now. Like, I'm able to get out of bed. The fevers have calmed down. Like, I'm a million times better," but it's bringing him absolutely no comfort. And then my brother was like, "Nah, I'm not going to lie. I can see where dad's coming from. You sound terrible." I was like, "I don't understand. I don't understand why he's saying that, because I feel like I sound like, it's not even I feel like I sound better. I sound so much better." Someone called me by accident when I was ill, and I answered the phone, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He was basically saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was a mistake." And I was like, "Okay, don't worry, no problem." And he's like, "Yeah, sorry about that, brother." And I was like, "He thinks I'm a man." Like, that's the extent of improvement that we have made, I hope. Hard to say. Let's do the snow bit now. No, that's fine. That's fine. Go for it. Um, I look forward to watching the video anyway. I always enjoy your videos. So I think that will be really nice to watch. Still too blue. Just going to add some more. Do you know what I think? I think that there's a tinsy wincy bit of phthalo blue in there, and it's ruining my grey. So I'm going to try this with this. See, much nicer grey. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in it. And add some more water to water it down. Just taking a rough look at where I should add my shadows roughly. Some more blue. Yeah, see, I don't really like the sky. I think as is common, I've made it too dark. But we'll see. That's why we have half the page, see? Yeah, no, I pretty much accepted it won't look like the photo. I mean, she said do this in your style. So essentially what I'm going for is the composition and the fact that there's snow. I've set a pretty low bar for myself. Is any of that, maybe if I bring that up as well, and then I can paint over it if I want, and leave some bits poking through if I don't. Yeah, I mean, I must do, because I was literally thinking like, oh, my brother would be like, "Yeah, dad's exaggerating, blah blah blah," and he's like, "Nah, I can't even lie. You honestly sound terrible." It's like, oh, okay, well, and that's now. I wanted to go live last Saturday, and my mum and my sister said, like, "Don't do it. You sound very very rough." And then by the time that I actually wanted to go live, I was feeling quite rough, so I didn't. But I honestly thought that by today, I would be fine. Hey Tracy, welcome. Thank you so much for speaking out. I'm not gonna lie, my natural state is a lurker, so you are in very good company. But I'm glad that you've decided to say hi. I normally I used to lurk not only like in general, like when playing video games, but also when on YouTube. Didn't say hi or boo. I didn't say boo to no one. Like I didn't say nothing at all. Um, I'm going to use the heat gun again. I'm gonna silence it in case it was annoying last time. See, I don't know how I created that little beauty, but can you see how that's like granulating? I think it must have a little bit of PB15 in there with which is phthalo blue with ultramarine blue and the cypress burnt umber. Beautiful accident that is. Thank you, Patricia. It was a gift from Jackson's. Well, gift, collaboration, a bit of both. I haven't done the collaboration yet. Where I'm awaiting the details from them. But I thought, why wait, right? Like, might as well start using it. Yeah, I saw Frugal Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, kind of talked about how they're discontinuing two of the colors. And she found two similar esque colors just in case you're someone who really, really wants to use the lilac from Prismacolor. She found two that I think were open. Like I don't even, I don't even have like a lot of coloring. Do I have coloring? Like yeah, okay. I've just got the polychromos, but apart from that, I'm not even like a watercolor buff. And still, I was watching this like avidly. Like oh my gosh, you're getting discontinued. But yeah, she found some open stock alternatives, which looked quite good. Mm. What am I missing? Yeah, snow is super tricky for me. It's part of the reason that if you haven't seen the Kofi challenge for this month, it's part of the reason I made it the challenge because it's always something that like I love the look of, and the less you work it, the better it looks. And I just find it so hard to master that. So I thought it would be nice for us to practice it together. So you can imagine my pleasant surprise when I saw Sarah Burns was like, do this in your style. I was like, hell yes, I'll do it in my style. Don't mind if I do. See, I want this even more blue. But then also it's a river, right? So if it's completely blue, that makes no sense. But then if it's brown, it's not nice either. It was nice seeing you, Paint and Hiding. I hope work goes well. Tracy, I can't see what face this is. Sorry. I can only see the square. I'm just catching up to... that's a good question. I don't know why. Lindsay didn't know why either. Collect all that sympathy. Let me... Let me just... I don't want this to dry before I'm ready, you see? And I want this to be darker still. Just going to mix it on the paper. Because I feel like in the picture it's super dark, you know? Maybe it'll take a few layers. I'm also trying to like get into the habit or the practice of layering my watercolors. Not that I will do it all the time, but I just really never felt the need to do it at all initially, and I kind of feel like it's a good skill to have. Nothing to do with the pigments. Oh, sorry, we're doing silent ASMR. You know what? I actually have music on. I don't know why it stopped. I had like a festive thing. Why do you need to? Why do you need to update your thing? I'm confused. I'll just catch up on the screen. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not doing yellow snow. I don't think I'm going to do it because otherwise I find that it looks that way. A lot of the time. And so I don't know. Maybe we'll do a few like snowscapes. Initially it was all meant to be like Christmas. Oops. Hold on. Okay. That's going to be a challenge. I don't think it's one I'm going to face in this. No, I don't mind at all, Dawn. I love it. I love the idea of everyone creating art and just relaxing and chatting together. So by all means do whatever you would like to do. I feel like especially now, like right before Christmas, is such a crazy busy time. I would like this to be an exception. So I've mixed, for the most part, just keep mixing ultramarine and cypress burnt umber. I think when I'm fully better, I'll just dedicate more time to doing these kind of paintings because I really, really, really like paintings that have snow in them. I like the idea of being able to do it. If the music is annoying, just let me know. Yes, you are correct. Welcome, Pre-Raphaelite. You are indeed correct. It's 100% watercolor paper by Saunders. They very kindly sent it to me um, as a gift. They said I didn't need to make a video about it or anything at all. They just wanted to see like what I thought, which I thought was super sweet. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course I'm going to use it. I didn't say yes, I'll make a video, but obviously I'm going to make a video. Music is loud. Better? Thank you. Honestly, I feel like of late I've been receiving such incredible gifts. Not even of late, just in general. Every gift I've received thus far has been so great. You know, you almost feel like you don't know what you did to get so lucky. Is that music better in terms of sound volume? You see, I want to put the tree. I want to put the tree here, but then I love this little bit of granulation that it would end up going straight through. So maybe, but I don't want it to be central. So I guess it's gonna have to go there. Say that just so that I can lift some of it. Maybe I should have pre-drawn the tree, eh? Now this should be a playlist, but I'm pretty sure this is what then stopped last time. Oops. Mate, Roman Schmuel. Roman Schmuel, I feel like if nothing else, I really, really, really want to create a video about them before Christmas. I just also don't want to be sounding like a chain smoker when I do. So it's gonna be a tricky one to figure out because I want it to be like in my head, I basically want to create a mega swatching video that will just be helpful for people to see all the different colors that they do. But then I also want to do I'll just like divide it in bits and then I'll do like a favorites video. But that's a lot to do. I was trying to write out all the names while I was while I was bedbound, but then I was kind of like, what if I make a mistake? You know, like I didn't really trust myself to be writing things with details and where each number actually matters. Perfect. Yeah, no. Oh, thank you, Patricia. I was very resistant to watercolor paper. For one thing, like 100% watercolor paper. For one thing, because I didn't want to fall in love with something that's super expensive that I then can't afford to sustain. Like I just thought the idea of it was very sad. But really and truly, like I can sustain it, and I feel like buying a whole bunch of paper, most of which I didn't actually like, isn't necessarily the way to go. Like for the most part, I was fine because I was like, okay, I got De La Rani, I like it, so I can keep using it. But I also do feel like there were some papers that I didn't like and I should have just not got. And I feel like I have paper for years, like to sustain me for years. So that self-imposed restriction may not have actually been that necessary, and may not be that necessary for a lot of people unless you paint like a whole bunch, and yes, you're going to run out of it. Yeah. That's a good idea. My initial plan was to do a one like mega video and then split that video into those bits. Does that make sense? So I would make like I don't know how long it would be, but say like a 2 hour, 1.5 hour video that has every single color. And then I would go back because I have to edit it all anyway. And having edited it, I would just do like, just split it. But like you say, it might just be easier for me to at least get started and do it bit by bit rather than wait until I've completed the whole line. Mm. My bad. You know what? I can't even, me saying 100% watercolor paper isn't even like a feeling unwell thing. It's a general thing that I do all the time. And it's so annoying. Even when I was doing the video on what paper you should use for gouache, right? I had to keep going back in and editing the word cotton because I kept forgetting to say the word cotton. So that's a little trick for you guys. If you were go back, you'd end up seeing me doing that over and over. For reasons unknown. But I love the fact that instead of just getting a smaller brush, I'm here struggling to do thin lines with a size 12, eh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to show pity on me and join my Ko-fi, feel free. All my Ko-fi members, I love you. And it's not just a fever speaking. And you need to vote and let me know when we are going to have our pentatonics night. I suspect that it will be the 27th, like an after Christmas kind of thing, judging by the way the votes were looking the last time I saw them. Which is cool with me. Do I pre-wet the paper? Do you mean like stretch the paper or do wet on wet? If the answer is do I do wet on wet? Yeah. I did wet on wet for the sky and the snow and the lake. So sometimes I pre-wet the whole paper, but sometimes not. And if you mean in general, not always. If I'm doing loose florals, for the most part, I won't pre-wet. But if I'm doing landscapes, then yeah, I'll pre-wet. Sometimes I'll pre-wet the whole paper and kind of do like a loose wash over everything. And sometimes I'll, like I did in this one, I pre-wet it bit by bit. Why did I pre-wet it bit by bit? I wanted to have a bit more control. And I also kind of thought that because I would be talking and looking up at the screen and everything, the entire paper would start drying a bit funnily, like not in a way that I would like, because I wouldn't have enough time I wouldn't be able to paint quick enough. You're welcome. I'm literally like I'm in a US time zone almost always. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Like I feel like anyone who is in the UK and follows me must just wonder what the hell am I on, because they would be like, "Oh yeah, great, we're following an artist in the UK, but wait, she's only live from 3 a.m. UK time." Like why? Why is she doing this? Um, but we'll see. I think part of 2023, one of the things that I want to do is to oh, hold on, add to list, new playlist. I guess. Um, I want to like get a bit of a better handle on my routine in terms of like have a night routine, a day routine, just to go to bed at more sensible times. And I guess if I were to do like live streams that's at a time for everyone, it would be like the weekends on my afternoon as opposed to start it at 3 a.m. I can't believe it's been an hour already. I'm so sorry, guys. My initial plan for today, believe it or not, was to just like stream for hours on end. So you remember how I've been talking about the idea of doing like a streamathon where I just keep streaming? That's what I wanted to do today. Obviously, my body betrayed me, but but we can only do what we can do, isn't it? We can only do our best. Do another tree here. Perhaps it's smaller. Should I keep risking it? Let me just do. This is a Jackson's brush. My bad. I can't believe that I am now doing it so late that it's in fact too late for people in Canada and the US. Should be a great time for anyone in California. So this is a size 4 brush, a lot smaller than I'm used to, but at least I feel like I don't have to be as light-handed. But I think actually that's a lie, because I'm getting some pretty thick strokes here. Thank you. And I appreciate it. Did you say you were giving away a pentatonic painting brush? No, we're doing a pentatonics, as in the singing group. We're going to do a night on my Ko-fi or day or session where we'll essentially listen to like pentatonics Christmas music and paint or chill. Painting's not necessarily mandatory, but it will be like a video chat. So I'm going to do it on my Discord. for anyone who's on my Ko-fi. Don't know why. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Made by Dawn, welcome. See Dark Roast. 10 p.m. Oh my gosh. See, I don't mind the singing. My only thing with the singing was I wasn't sure if it will be like, when you try to sing with someone on the phone, it's your timing is always off. Someone's timing will always be off. But I don't mind. Maybe we rotate who plays it and sings. It'll be like karaoke. Can you imagine explaining it to anyone who will see or hear us? You're like, oh, don't mind us, just a painting group. How many how many branches is too many branches is the question now, isn't it? It's freezing. I've got my hot water bottle. I was saying last time that we were live, I think, that basically for my whole life I've been scared of hot water bottles, right? Like there's just the fear of getting a third-degree burn is like nothing like nothing I've experienced before. And I think it's because when I was younger, like in secondary school, no, primary school, must have been even earlier than that. They did this. I feel like I'm getting better points with. Okay, I don't know if they brought someone in or the fire brigade. Basically, they showed us pictures about third-degree burns and we're like, be careful. And what I took from that was I would never use a hot water bottle in my life. And it took this winter with our ridiculous electricity prices to be like, okay, I'm going to try to use a hot water bottle. It's been life changing, mate. Like, it's unreal. I feel toasty. I'm still like super paranoid. Like I always have the mouth away from me. Um, and also, I think I'm more so paranoid because I am a rough sleeper, like rough. Um, Always have been, always will be. Like I was looking at nightgowns, and I saw the nightgowns that are like spaghetti string strap. And I found that incredible that there are literally some people out there who can sleep in that because even like, I mean, this is my bra strap, right? But even a strap like this, I couldn't sleep in. Like it would get torn, shredded to pieces. As in like just, snapped off. So I've never been able to wear spaghetti string to bed. Um, T-shirts are fine, like hoodies and stuff are fine. So my fear was always that I would be sleeping really rough and then like I don't know, sumo wrestle my hot water bottle in my sleep. But so far so good. I just keep it away from me. Evidently I'm very scared. So I don't touch it at night. Oh, thanks. Mm, I'm catching up. Yeah, I've got my tea here, although it's getting cold. Thank you so much. I love that. Mm, that's perfect. Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, honestly, part of me was always like, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think about when my kids, my siblings were young. Would I wake up when they'd cry and stuff? Yeah, I wouldn't wake up when they would cry, but I feel like I had a good knack for knowing when, like, say my brother used to do this really weird thing when he'd sleep, where he would move up the bed and there was a gap at the end of the bed, right? So he'd keep shuffle, 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 and if he shuffled all the way, he'd fall head down. So when he was younger and said put him to sleep and stuff, sometimes I'd sleep in the same bed. You're not meant to do that anyway, but I would do that, and then like I always seemed to know like to wake up right before he fell head first into the gap. And he wasn't doing it to be annoying or anything. He must have been like, maybe he was under one. He was just doing it in his sleep, like moving around in his sleep. Uh, my sister sleeps incredibly still, like incredibly. It's unnerving. I've told her. It doesn't make any sense. Literally, mind the gap. Oh, Tracy, you leaving? Oh, thank you so much for joining, Tracy. It's been really lovely having you. Um, and I am really glad that you trusted us not to lurk. uh, but yeah, so I can't imagine. Part of me was always like, oh, would I actually just end up sleeping through children crying for food? Who knows? Mm. And do you guys like seeing the reference? I'll go between the reference and me. I wonder, am I vain? I don't even think it's vain. I think it's just nice to see somebody's face when you're watching a stream. At least that's how I feel. It keeps me engaged for longer. um, that being said, I then look up and I'm like, oh, where is the display? Where's the reference? You see, I wonder. I guess I can get thin. I just feel like I'm not getting as thin as I want to get with this tiny brush. I think I've been quite lucky with the rota in that I have quite a few days off as well. We'll see. And then because I don't have a car and it's freezing cold outside, I'm going to be spending a lot of time at home. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I like showing my face as well. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it helps. Like I think it's because I would also enjoy seeing someone's face. Like I would want to see. I guess both, isn't it? I'd want to see the reference, but I would also like to see the person's face. Unfortunately, I can't have all three of us at the same time looking reasonable. I think this is what three looks like. This is what three looks like, which to me is just not helpful. And this is what 2 looks like, I don't know why they decide that the screenshot is what should be dominant. And thus, oh, you don't like having your face. I do. I think it differs. Everybody is different, isn't it? But I think there'll be some people that will be like, why is she showing her face? It's not helping me at all. And there are other people who will like to see the person's face so that at least it's like you're talking to someone. Oh, I'm literally I'm bringing myself back and forth. As in, like, sometimes I add my face to the stream and sometimes I remove it because I can only have 2 on the stream properly. So I keep picking the reference photo for you guys. Can you hear me? But did that by accident, but now you should be able to see me. What are we thinking about this painting? I kind of feel like, this kind of wonder, okay, let's see. I kind of feel like I'm ready for it to be finished. If that makes sense. And so I'm just gonna I wanted a dry brush. Am I getting dry brush? No. Wiping off that excess water. I have a paper towel behind me, that's why I keep going back. Now that you guys can see me, you can see all the weird things I'm doing. I'm just adding some dry brush effect every so often across the snow. What's going on here? There we go. I think it was lacking a bit of ultramarine blue. So I kept trying to darken it and it wasn't getting darker. And I don't know why. Thank you. Thanks. It's almost like I had the picture up there for banter because did I? Oh, oh yeah, trees, shadows. Initial thoughts on paper. I really like it. I think what's going to be tricky for me is comparing it to other papers, because to me, I feel like at the moment what I'm doing is comparing every paper to cellulose paper, so it feels like incredible. But how does it compare to Arches? How does it compare to everything else? Paul Rubens, I'm not sure. I have some Paul Rubens. We can try painting with it next. I feel like that's part of, like, one of the things that I wanted to do was like a favorites video, and then I didn't do it because I kind of felt like, well, if I say this is my favorite, people will take it as like it's the best out of all of them, and I can't say it is. I can only say and I can't even say it's even the best out of everything I have. I can only say it's the best out of the few that I have used, because so I almost feel like I should keep waiting. But as for the paper, I'm like loving it, and I feel like it's been incredibly forgiving. Like, I have lifted, I have done layers, I have done wet on wet, wet on dry, and it's just allowed me to do everything. Like, I haven't really felt like I've been fighting with the paper, and I feel like any part of this painting that you may say isn't quite right is because of user error, not because of the thanks. Is because of user error, not because of the paper itself. If that makes sense. You see how I've had like epidemic sound for the longest time and I just didn't use it because the idea of looking through thousands of songs gave me a headache. But actually, it's paid off today because I'm quite enjoying the different music that we're having. As great as the ASMR, the silent ASMR was. I think no music is probably more enjoyable when I'm more talkative and when I'm not struggling for breath. Mm, yeah, that's a good point. And I think, my bad, I think that when I first started, oh guys, the granulation on this is actually unreal. Um, but when I first started, or even when I'm doing my loose watercolor, I feel like I am thus more able to use cellulose paper because I'm not doing multiple layers and I'm not really relying on any like blending. But then the more blending I started doing, the more I was like, it's actually not the same. So I completely agree with the point that it depends on how you're going to use it. If you're doing a lot of wet on dry and you don't need lots of blending, then you will definitely get away with using cellulose paper. But I think if I were to have tried to do blends like this, so many like layers on cellulose paper, I would have perhaps been like fighting with the paper in terms of the fact that I would have got blooms that I would have tried to keep like to stop happening and stuff. Is it possible? Most definitely. Like where there's a will, there's definitely a way. I just think it would have probably been a lot harder to do or more frustrating for me to do it. But if I had no 100% cotton paper and I just had cellulose paper, I would just make do, isn't it? You just manage and then eventually when you get the paper, you try it, you see the difference and you pick what you like. Yeah, it's so funny because honestly, paper is such a subjective thing because there are some people that I know will swear by Mossery. The paper I personally could not stand was Arteza, and I only tried one of their papers. One, as in, this is what made it even worse. I kept seeing people say like, "This paper is fantastic. We love this paper," and I'm sure that they loved it. But I took it as meaning that I will also love it. And so I bought not one, not two, but three of their sketchbooks. Like you know how they do these like offers, deals, that kind of thing, bundle pack. So I bought this bundle pack and I tried it. I don't know why I did like a test page, which I don't normally do. I normally just dive straight in. But I did like a test swatch page at the back and I didn't like it. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just the back. And then I tried to do a painting at the front and I hated it. Tried to do another painting in case it was like there was something wrong with that sizing. I hated it. And I then told myself, okay, I will use this book as my swatch book. But then I was like, I'm not even putting this. Like, it almost felt like a redundant, a pointless swatch book because none of the colors would look right because this paper was, I don't know. I don't know if I had a bad batch. I don't know what it was. But like I said, loads of people would swear by it. So I ended up actually giving it away. Um, Basically asked like, who wants this paper, and I gave it away. Um, just because I could not stand it. See, I haven't tried that. This is the thing. This is why I feel like it's so it's so uh important to put your best foot forward, because I hated their paper so much that despite everyone saying it was fantastic, then I was like, I don't know if these reviews are wrong or if I got a bad batch, or like I couldn't quite explain it. But my take on it was then I didn't use anything else of theirs. I was like, well, everyone on YouTube told me to buy Arteza paper or Arteza sketchbooks. I bought Arteza sketchbooks and I hated it. So I'm not listening to anybody's opinion about Arteza again. And thus I didn't buy any of their gouache. I didn't buy their gouache. I didn't buy any of their things thereafter, just because I kind of felt like they would cheat me. I don't know why I took such a strong turn against them, but not to say like them as in the company or anything like that, but I would it would be very I would have to love their product in order to like work with them. And I almost feel like I would have to try more than one. Like I would have to know that it wasn't like a, because till this day I don't know if what I got was a bad batch, and thus I need to test multiple to see if they are just slacking in their production, or if is just like normal for them. And just to be constructive in terms of what I had the issue with, the paper had two different textures in terms of, and the textures didn't always make sense in terms of the fact, like, I may still have the sketchbook because I don't know if I threw away the sketchbook itself. Um, but I felt like the paper had two different textures, and I don't like that. I like one texture consistently throughout for the most part. Or if you're going to have two textures, let it make sense. Like front is this texture, back is that texture, front is this. Like, do you know what I mean? It almost felt like sometimes it would be two rough textures, then one smooth texture, then three rough textures. I didn't really understand the pattern of what was going on. And then I almost felt like the paint was being repelled by the paper. So I kind of thought that maybe there was something off with the sizing and it wasn't flowing, like the paint just wasn't flowing on the paper. I tried doing wet on wet. It was a mess. It was peeling. It was just an uncomfortable situation. um, um, uh, See, that's the thing. I don't even need something to be um, to be that high end. So many people, but I think the reason I didn't get the gouache is because I saw so many people saying like, "Oh, yeah, it's fantastic." At the same time as I saw people saying the paper's fantastic, so then I was like, "Okay, I don't know if these people are getting paid by Arteza or whatever, but let me get the Himimiya gouache, which I think was cheaper at the time, and I kind of just thought looked cute." And then after I got the Himimiya gouache, I was like, "Huh, let me get the Winsor& and Newton." And then I kind of fell in love with the Winsor& and Newton, and by then I started knowing a bit more about brands, and it almost felt like, well, if I love Winsor& and Newton and I already have a student grade version in the Himimiya, I don't need to get another student grade version. I either keep getting the Winsor& and Newton that I love, or I get a student grade version, or I get an artist grade version so that I am trying better quality things. So like I think that's the reason that I never really fell into getting the Arteza. Mm, their water brushes are nice. Ah, bye for real, paint in hiding. I hope work goes well. They're okay. Um See, and that's the thing I find difficult, bearing in mind that, you know what, as you can tell, I am more than happy to pick up a sponsorship here or there. So I have nothing against sponsorships, right? And I don't think that sponsorships per se make people dishonest. But I think that, say, even if I were to receive something, you get excited. Like I feel like it's almost like being in love, you know? The things that some may find annoying, all of a sudden you're finding adorable because you're in love. To me, that's what it almost feels like. Um, so when I've been working with brands, like my aim to try and avoid that was that the brands that I had worked with were brands that I had used their stuff before. So it was either that I had used it, like the exact thing they're sending me, or I had used enough of their other stuff, or it was something I'd bought with my own money. I feel like if I can put my own money on it, then I can talk about it freely. Um, so, but then yeah, sometimes it gets tricky. Like there were brands that I think that got in touch and that want to collaborate, but then I find that a bit tricky, you know, because I don't want to. I think it's so mean to like send someone for free that something for free that you've been working hard on, and then they just slate it online. It must be like, what's going on? Um, so so for yeah, so it's been tricky. I think the other caveat would be if I saw something that a lot of that someone I trusted on YouTube had already either seen, reviewed, like that kind of thing, then I would be more often. Gosh, same my paint with acrylic. Then I think I would be again more open to it because I can't use everything myself beforehand. In terms of not before the review, but before saying yes, you know. So if like creating cute art or Miranda or like if someone I knew, the frugal crafter, especially the frugal crafter, some of her reviews be brutal. Never disrespectful. I think she's definitely got an art to it. Like it's never disrespectful, but some of them are like so honest. Um, and I really admire that, So I'm like, okay, if she sees it and she says it's good, then there must be something relatively good about it because and thus it's worth exploring further. At least in my head. But yeah, I do find it tricky because I think part of me is always like, I want to be honest, and sometimes I wonder if either getting paid or getting it for free, that's what I'm also counting as getting paid, like the flattery of working with someone is coloring my views. But thankfully, so far, I think anyone that I haven't been sure about, I've just said no. Like it's just um easier. I assume how far are we in? 1 hour and a half. None of those brands are going to be listening to me. But like, say for example, Grabby got in touch with me, and yeah, like I hadn't used them before, and so I wasn't like, yeah, I think it just like it was a brand I hadn't used before. I wasn't sure. I didn't think that their watercolors would be that great, um, and thus I just said no. Um, Sometimes it's tricky, especially because like I want to be able to highlight things at different price points. It shouldn't just be the most expensive things that get reviews. Sorry. Oh, teaser paid me 0. Don't worry, they paid me 0 too. Mm. You see, so to me, it'd be like before if they're 100%, if their creme de la creme is the same price as Arches, then I'll just go for Arches because I find that most people have got very positive things to say about them. Or Saunders, now that I've discovered them. Just trying to make a nice fine point. To do little wisps of grass. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. There's a really nice freedom that comes with just doing what you want, you know? Like I owe nobody. Let me just make and say, oh, there are some bits of this painting, honestly, that I'm really feeling. But let me stay on track. But then it's also been like super nice. Working with Etcher has been great. I have obviously I still have Roman Schmore. I can't even I'm still like in awe over them, and to me that was fantastic, like, you know, to get to work with a brand that I've like used their watercolors and I love. It's like perfect. Especially because it's been my go-to live stream watercolor, because it's like good quality so I don't get frustrated when I'm painting live. But also not super expensive, so I feel free to like experiment even though I don't know how it's going to go. Um, and that to me has been invaluable. And I reckon if it hadn't been like as affordable, it would just have taken me months to use, you know, like it would have taken me so long and then I would have missed this wonderful opportunity. I'm just using a little bit of whitewash. Lindsay tempts me with those Ohuhu markers, and I don't even use markers. But I am not going to lie. Every time I watch her talk about it, I open up the markers on Amazon, and then I genuinely contemplate, like, should I just buy these damn markers? um, thus far, I haven't. Like at the end of the day, I always have to remind myself: one, I have so many supplies already, and two, like, it's not my primary medium, right? so so I normally have to like give myself a rule, like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I will buy it if X, Y, and Z, if I do this many paintings or something. And obviously I don't end up doing that because I'm busy, and then I don't buy it until next time. But I would love to try them. But before I try them, Miss Ebony, you'll be happy to know I will be doing more pastel work as well. And then also now I've bought myself pencils. I've just bought myself so many different mediums that really and truly I was like, I can't do this. I can't get alcohol markers. Even though the prices are great, I'm just gonna hold out. Who's Stephen Mitchell? Steve Mitchell. No. No, they didn't. This is, I think that right there is what also made it so shocking, because I was like, I already love you. I already have said great things about you. I've already made many videos where I'm painting with your stuff. Um, so it's almost like, oh, I feel like I've already given all my value, and yet you give me your entire range. Oh gosh, honestly, I honestly still can't believe it. Um, and I was there like, oh, okay, and what would you like in exchange? what, what can I do to deserve this? And he's just been like very chill. I like no video request, nothing. Like, guy, to me it was when I was like, hey, yeah, I make videos about, and he's like, of course I know you. I was like, what? Even if that is a lie, that was like the lie of the century, because I was beyond flattered. Also, I told you that I think I was talking to Roman themselves, as in like Roman Schmall is made by Roman Schmall, the man. And I think he's the one who was emailing, because he kept signing the emails as Roman. And I was like, Roman? and then when I was talking to them also on Facebook, the person on there was a woman, and she was like, "Oh, I think my boss will just email you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the boss emailed him was Roman. And I was like, "Mr. Small, Mr. Small, is that you?" Um, oh no, sorry. Oh, Steve. Yeah, yeah, no, he's awesome as well. If you don't know now, you know. I definitely no, I do know him. Um, allow me, man. Let's just put that up to the cough. Oddly enough, though, I haven't watched many of his reviews. Like, I've seen his. What do I even watch of his? Like, I think the only review, like, it wasn't really a review, but like, when he ranked all the gouache types, like all the different gouache brands. I watched that, but I haven't seen that many of his reviews. Maybe that's something I should look into. I guess I don't watch that many reviews in general. I find, unless I'm like making a video about something, and even then, I don't want to watch too many reviews, because otherwise I feel like I'd end up copying by accident. But then I also feel like I need to do due diligence, right? You don't want to miss out something important that your test may not have alluded to. Yeah, I don't know. I always find reviews a bit tricky. I prefer I don't know what I prefer, Maybe that's something I should look into 2023. Like, what do I actually did that white disappear? What do I actually want to do for the most part on the channel? Because this gouache is disappearing. I thought it was just me, but it's not. I literally thought it was in my head, and that I hadn't put the gouache down yet. It's just where I wanted to put the gouache down. But I did put it down. It must just be zinc white instead of titanium white, or it's sorry, it's acting up. Don't really know. Zinc white, permanent white. Must have been zinc white. There we go. Whoopsie. Yeah, I think I've watched him like paint in general. Yeah, and honest. See, my thing with the, because I was really curious about the, and just for anyone watching, my fault. Permanent white slash titanium white seems to be like, that highlighting kind of white that doesn't fade, whereas zinc white is a white, like a good white for like mixing. It's not as tinting, it's not as strong. And I think that that's why this is fading on me, because it must have been zinc white, which is not what I want. I want it to stay white, It's being very annoying. And I thought that, and also I think because I'm using so much water to like reactivate it, but the way that it was fading, I think it's a bit more than that. Not overpowering, but I've never used Winsor & Newton. Well, maybe use them with the window open, Miss Ebony, and see. Hopefully it's not too much, or hopefully it's one of those things that with time it's not as overpowering, Patricia. But I think, yeah, if they give you a headache, then use something else. What? Jackson's Art had a sale in September of 120 mils tube of, whoa, did they? That's insane. Yeah, that's no, yeah, that makes sense. So zinc white is your mixing white. It's because like if you use um dark roast, if you remember when I was trying to do that experiment where I was trying to add white gouache to watercolor to see, it was not working with the titanium white because it's so overpowering that you would need so much watercolor in order to change it to make it whatever color the watercolor actually was. Whereas with zinc white, because you can mix it and you can gradually change the colors, it worked a bit better for that purpose. So I guess it depends on how you use your gouache, as to which white you would prefer. And really and truly, like if you only like, it's not that it's a must to have both, right? Like if you only have the titanium white, which is the highlighting white, then it's great for doing highlights, and for everything else you just put like a really tiny bit and you keep working at it until you like are a bit better at getting the ratio right. And if you only have zinc white, then you just keep layering until you get a pure white if you're using it for highlights. But yeah, that was why it didn't quite work out when I was doing that experiment, because I was using titanium or permanent white. And I tend to remember it with like permanent white has a T for titanium. Yeah, depending on how you use them, you may not notice a difference. I didn't know a difference between them for a while. I was just using the one that came in my mixing set, and I think I then ended up getting, must have been permanent white by accident. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. I've also just got Spotify for the first time, life changing. It's like, oh, this is fantastic. Like all this music I now have access to without ads. It's unreal. I've got the family plan. Which reminds me I need to pay my sister. But I meant, was it yesterday? I think part of the reason that I got so tired today was that yesterday I like massively overdid it because I was feeling better and I was like, great, I'm gonna get out of bed. I'm gonna start trying to tidy. I'm gonna, do stuff. And it completely knocked me out, man. Today was actually a joke. I can't believe how much I slept. And behold him on the King of Heaven. Why does which one? Question. Why does Jerome Small Aquarius Black have a plastic film? It doesn't re-wet well. I haven't used the Aquarius Black yet, but I'll keep an eye on it and see. Do you know what the pigment number is? The black that I would recommend would be Mars Black. Is that PBK 11? I'm surprised it doesn't reactivate. Let me try it and see. I don't, as in like not now, as in when I don't even know how to begin to get up and unwrap. But when I do, I will let you know. I have a PW5, PW6 whitewash, which is really good. Yeah, so Mars Black I know for granulating quite nicely. I think PBK6 is also in some of the like super granulating colors, but I haven't used that one yet. Should we try and add snow? YOLO. This could go really well, really badly. I don't know. Let's live a little, shall we? Oh, I'm kind of scared. Having never done this. Let me practice on here. Not working. Add a bit of water. Mate, nothing's happening. Oh no, wait. Okay, there's a little bit. Let's try. Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. Some bits better than others. Okay. It did something. And now to have some bits that look a little bit less chaotic, just gonna go in and make my own snow. But when I make my own snow, they're all the same size. Don't want that. Varying amounts of water, varying amounts of pressure. Tiny, 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 tiny. Too big. What am I doing? Sorry. Honestly, I don't know how I feel either. I made a hole. I put in the paintbrush through. Yeah. Oh, good night, Dawn. Thank you so much for joining. Now I feel like nobody wants to come on to then just be listening to someone cough. And I feel like I've caught most early enough to actually mute myself, but then some I haven't. Okay. Could have. I kind of don't mind the snow, you know. I kind of feel like in my head it was going to be a lot worse. There are some bits that are questionable, certainly. This bit right here, but just paint the whole thing white. start from scratch. No, but that, guys, you see, is why we have this over here. We could do this all over again. And on a slight note, like, can we see how beautiful these little colors that we did on the swatches are? These little like experimentation bits there. Can you see the granulation in that? Ish. Sorry. Can you see it? I'm using like committed to letting you guys see. That's just because of the little bits of phthalo blue that I had in there as well. So the phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, and cypress burnt umber, which is why it's like greenish. And then this one was just, I think, phthalo blue and ultramarine blue. Oh, thank you. Which reminds me, let me put Sarah's picture. That's not what I was going for, but okay. This is what I wanted. Yeah, here we go. See, it's not quite the same vibe. I feel like mine is a lot moodier. It's a lot moodier than what Sarah's one is giving, and it's also a lot moodier than, say, perhaps I was going for. I don't know. It's on YouTube. Miss Ebony, she put a video on YouTube on Saturday, about it, but she initially put up the picture on her Instagram, and then she made a video about it yesterday, talking about painting snow, like her approach to doing this painting. Maybe I should watch it back as a tutorial, but she didn't show enough of it to kind of be a tutorial. It was more that she was showing the environment and then talking about doing this as a challenge at the end once she'd done her painting. I agree. Levity is very much needed. Laughter is good medicine for the soul. Don't know why I move it to this side, as if all of a sudden I'm going to be left-handed. Sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Jodie. I hope that they get well soon. I've been sick. I don't even know. Like, I feel like the sickness, like me being sick 2 weeks ago, is not the same sick as the sick I've been this past week. I feel like I got that, then got over that, and then ended up in this hellhole that I'm slowly climbing out of. Yeah, she put, like, I remember seeing it in my somewhat delirious state, and then thinking like, oh, I need to screenshot that just for like inspiration. I love, and especially because I completely missed the snow, like I I thought it just didn't snow here, but apparently it did snow here. I was just out of it, so I didn't see a single bit of snow, um, which was disappointing. Like, I think snow is just nice to look at, even if I'm not actively walking around in the snow. I liked the idea of at least thing of at least seeing it from the comfort of my own home. Um, but yeah, I want to do another snow. My thing is, I would like to be able to do snowscapes from my mind, but I feel like I'm just not that kind of imaginative person. Like, I wouldn't even know what to create. Like, this blank page to me would be the snowscape, but it's something that I'm trying to do because I feel like I haven't seen that many um that many pictures of snowscapes that are royalty free that I would like to paint. And the few that I have seen, I put in the Kofi challenge for this month so that at least we could do that together. Um, when the motivation to do so strikes us. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely going around. Um, I did check for COVID, and I don't know if it was faintly positive or if it was negative. And then my intention was to do it again, but I just didn't have the energy. And then I was like, okay, at this point it's academic because I've been sick longer than any isolation period, and I'm not going out, so it's fine. I'm just catching up on your messages to see. Oh, thank you. You like the sky. See, there are bits that I'm seeing that I'm like, oh, I like. There are bits that I like separately. I don't know how actually, when I look at the whole thing, I'm like, yeah, it's nice. It's just not necessarily what I had in mind, but I love like the softness of the sky and that little bit of purple. I love all the granulation that I have in the back here that you guys probably can't see. Maybe what I will do is like take pictures really close up so I can be like this granulation, and I like the shadow. Shout out to Dark Roast for that for pointing out that pivotal thing I was missing out. So I love that shadow. I love like this corner here. There's just something about the, not that anyone wants to see this, but I think it's a good practice to admire the things that you do well as well, rather than otherwise, if you don't like any of it, what's the point? Um, but yeah, so I like this bit here. I can't explain this little bit of dry brush here. Loving it. Love the shadow and like how there's different colors. I don't know if that's actually what a shadow would be like, but in my head it makes sense. What else? I like the granulation in the back, but again, I don't know if that actually comes across quite nice, like clearly, and that's because I'm using PB29, which is ultramarine blue, with cypress burnt umber. Both of them granulate, so then there's like really nice little bits of granulation here, there, and everywhere throughout this painting. And one thing that I think granulation works well in is landscapes. Like the pause for effect there as I caught my breath. Oh, thank you. um, I want to do another one. The annoying thing is just thinking of it, Thank you so much, Colleen. Let's do another one. What I will do is quickly look and see the references I put for Kofi, and not copy it, but use it as inspiration. No, you couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay. No, it wasn't just that. My computer took me out of the live stream altogether, so I could see on my phone, which is the overhead camera, that it was still going on. but but then I couldn't tell if you guys could hear me. My bad. I'm back now. So you missed everything I said, huh? I was just talking to myself. How about that? Wow. Um, I said I was just gonna look and see. See, the computer knows. No apologies at all. Welcome. Um, if I sound a bit rough, just know that I feel better than I sound, apparently. Um, and you're more than welcome to this live stream. No, I can't stop. I feel like if I stop now, I'll just go to bed and I'll just sleep, right? And I'll end up sleeping for so long. What kind of day will that be? You know? It'll just be a waste. That's not true, Dark Roast. I've been very good at muting. I've muted 95% of my coughing, which is a lot harder said than done. I don't want to sleep. I feel like a child, you know, when they're like, I don't want to go to bed. That's literally how I feel. I don't want to sleep. One of the perks of this being at this time is that by the time my mom knows I did this, it will be over. So I won't have to explain how or why I thought this would be a sensible idea. And then also, really and truly, um, I I will not be doing a video this Sunday. I won't have it in me to edit. And also, as in like, isn't the editing isn't even like the biggest issue, although I'm sure although it is part of the issue. The other issue is what I sound like. Like I can't fully hear what I sound like. But given that the guy on the phone thought I was a man, I am going to assume I don't quite sound like myself. And it feels a bit like, can I really make a video where I'm thanking Saunders for sending me their watercolor paper and I sound dreadful? Is that legit? Unless I just do a video where like it's not speaking, you know, when you just write out what you're saying. That's an alternative. So it's all like music. But I always struggle watching those videos. And sometimes I find them relaxing. Or even like, not sometimes, a lot of the time I will find them relaxing. The problem is that I'll find them relaxing for a short period of time and then I'm bored. Like I need to watch something else. So I don't know if that's how people feel. And I just don't. Yeah, so given that I'm not going to create a video this Sunday, this will have to be it. And then I know that I really want to make the Roman Schmuel video before Christmas. And because I will probably prioritize that, I then have to question if I'll make anything else before Christmas or if it will just be that video. And like you have very helpfully suggested, it may be that instead of doing the grand swatching that I wanted, I start somewhere and I make my way across. I think it may end up being something along them lines. This being sick did really make me think though, because I was like, wow, when I'm sick, like everything has to stop. Like no videos get made. Like no no Kofi challenges get written, no plans get made, no videos for coffee get made. Like everything really just stops. Like that's wild, no? Now let me see. I'm just going back up. No, you're more than welcome, and congratulations, Laurie. uh Honestly, I think I am. I'm no, I wasn't ignoring you guys. I'm sorry. I was looking pointedly. I was looking at inspiration photos. Um Pearl Maroon is getting discontinued. It is indeed. I bought a few colors. Like I feel like I don't know if this was just a UK thing, but when COVID started, did you guys also like was there this phase where you were at where everyone bought toilet paper? Did that happen? Was that just a UK kind of thing? Mm. Oh, thank you. But I saw that um ultramarine, what am I saying? That quinacridone gold was getting stopped because of no more P48 with Romish. So I was like, oh my gosh, well, I gotta buy me some of that. Oh yeah, yeah. So I was kind of scared that that's what was going to happen with the PO48 as well as like all the colors that are going. And even me, when I saw that Roman Schmall, I think there's 4 colors that they're not going to make anymore. And when I saw it, like there was this deep urge in me to just buy it, even though they're not colors that I would normally go for. The color that I would go for is the quinacridone gold. And spoiler alert, I did buy some quinacridone gold. Um, but it kind of reminded me of the whole toilet paper issue. Evidently, the Swedish people are calmer than the rest of us because here it was ridiculous. It was hard to find toilet paper. Like everyone went wild and started buying lots and lots and lots. And then I remember like feeling bad and being like, oh, well, if I buy loads, then people won't be able to buy any. So I didn't actually buy like very much. And then when it ran out, I was really questioning my life. I was like, what? Out here looking for toilet paper and it wasn't just it then it spread to like because obviously people are not getting desperate, it then spread to people buying like lots and lots of kitchen roll, like any paper that you could use to clean, was then very difficult to find, you know out here looking at like gas stations or petrol stations for paper. But yeah, anyway, when I saw P48, like when you guys told me P48 is going, and then when I saw that their other colors are going, and when Roman Schmall officially put it on their page, their Instagram, that they're not making these anymore, I was like, that's it, everything's gonna run out now. But thankfully I don't actually think it has. I think last time I checked on Jackson's and stuff, everything was okay still there. I'm just looking at a photo for inspiration. So I will catch up in a second in terms of catching up on the text, the chat. I feel like my house is wonky. Oh well, nothing in life is perfect. I'm kind of stuck because I want to do trees, and then I always feel like I don't really like trees. After the fact, I'm like, why did I do that? But let's do it anyway, yeah? Risk it for a biscuit. So there's going to be a big tree here. And then, so I don't want the peaks to be too symmetrical because that won't make natural sense. And let's add, so there's going to be trees here, trees everywhere, and I'm not going to draw them all in. We're just going to go for it for this one. Now I'm going to catch up for a little bit. Welcome, hey WA Castle, and congratulations. Yeah, no, it was hard to find, hard times. Yeah, you see the things that we had to do. And I think if it wasn't for the bulk buy-in, it really would have been enough for everyone. But I don't know. I feel like it started with a rumor to say like, oh, you know, I don't know how it happened of all, and I don't know why specifically it was toilet paper, but I remember feeling the panic. The PY150 that I have, sorry, the quinacridone gold hue that I have, I need to check to see what exactly it is, but it is beautiful. It's a Roman small one as well. So they have quinacridone gold, which isn't the real quinacridone gold anyway, but that one is PY150 and PO48, and then they have a quinacridone gold hue, which is actually the one that I bought initially. Very good advice. Someone was saying, I was looking for like gift ideas, and someone was saying if you're really close to someone, you should buy them like this attachment that you can then add to the toilets to turn them into a bidet. But for me, trees are easier than houses. We'll see how this goes. See, my question then is, should we use the same color scheme? I feel like this is a team project, you know. Should we use the same color scheme? Because on one hand, I love the grays and I love the granulation that I get with this color scheme. But then on the other hand, I feel like it's very moody. Not that moody is a bad thing, Sha, but wow, I'm now speaking broken English. Not that being moody is a bad thing, but that is what I'm wondering. Come are you faithful? Should we stick to the same? Because, yeah, if I add, pink. Is pink a little bit too out there? But add some dark red on the house. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know why they called it Quin Gold, but their Quin Gold is actually a Quin Gold hue, and then they have another Quin Gold hue. I guess they didn't want to call both of them Quin Gold hue. Quin Gold Hue 2. Let me know. Ooh, what the hell? Still wet. Let me know if the music gets too loud for you. Ooh, okay, let's do this. Part of me feels nervous about where I have, I'm gonna just put this here, about where I have placed the water, you know, because I feel like it will just end up going on my painting. Can you see? See you soon, Patricia. You know, I realize it's as late for you as it is for me, Patricia. Well, early, depends on your perspective. I don't like that. Okay, I'm being dramatic. It's not bad, but I want it less grey and more blue. Just putting wet water, wet water. I'm just putting water everywhere, and then I will figure out what I'm doing. So I'm going to like do soft edges on this first layer, and then see. I don't tend to do this as much when I'm doing lives, just because I feel like I can't be like I'm not fast enough, you know. I'm using my Mishmal paints, obviously, and a Raven brush by Jackson's, which I must say I'm also really enjoying. The only thing is that I feel like I quite often use it like a round brush, which is why my paper is currently drowning. Just also getting off all this. I'm trying to get rid of that excess water because what I want is for it to be like damp, but not completely overwhelmed. So I'm just wiping off some of that excess. Brush into. Don't worry, my tea's finished. Excellent question. It's currently 5:23 a.m. Did you find good varnish? I bought the do you mean for like my watercolor paintings? I've bought the Dorland's wax as per our last conversation. I haven't used it yet. Haven't done anything other than lay in bed for the past week, which is actually really annoying because I wanted to like be organized with life. Like I wanted to, you know, sort out Christmas shopping, wanted to go to work, wanted to go out with my friends for Christmas. And, you know, like because we're all working and doing medicine, it takes months for us to find a date where we're all available. And it just so happened that I was sick and in denial because I really thought I was going to be able to go until like the very last moment when I was delirious. And then I was like, oh no, I'm not actually going to be able to make it. And thus I didn't go. But but just prior to that, I was able to buy the varnish that we discussed. Oh no, here we go, too dark again. Let me turn this around. There we go. Can you imagine? I can't hear myself and still I would try to sing. The audacity. Where is the light? We'll assume the light is coming from... Where is the light coming from? Does it matter? It matters. I need to let me dedicate some time to figuring this out. Do I want this to be front lit? No. So it's going to come from this side. We'll just do the shadows on this side then. Ba-na-na-na-na. And let's take some light grey color and add it to all of this here. These are going to be our trees. I know. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. That's super helpful. Because I saw, I don't know if it was a video or an article like a while back that was covering that, and it was comparing different both, I guess, varnishes and like different types of varnishes in terms of like sprays and creams and like add-on and waxes and all these different things to see like which ones left residue and which ones didn't. And from that video, my impression was that Dorland's wax was very good, was good. And then following that, I saw Sarah Burns, and she also then mentioned Dorland's wax. So from there, I was like, oh, it must be very good. And then Colleen, I believe, also mentioned it when we were talking last time. So that's why I ended up getting that. But I am certainly open to different ways of protecting watercolors. Just using just taking off some of that paint that's creeping in. And I think here has already started to dry, so let me just take that as the first layer. Hello, friends. That's a good point. I don't know if I find that video. When I find that video, just I will like share it on Kofi or something. Because I don't know if it was a video or an article. It may have been an article because I was looking for like how to protect watercolors, and it may have something that will work with pencils because they were looking, they were showing like sprays as well. Which perhaps won't smear because you won't like physically have to add them, like smear them on a thing. How am I feeling about the sky? I kind of don't mind it. But then again, does this cloud shape make sense? Probably not. Let's I never actually see my clouds. I'll just wet the whole thing and then don't want that water, I want this water. Bum ba dun da da dun da dun. You know what I was thinking I would really love right now? Like, as in, like, not physically right now, but as in, like, in the near future, I would love another, like, holiday. I don't know if I was prepping that up as if I was going to say something really deep and then it's like a holiday. No, but not only just like, holiday, although yes, holiday, but as in going somewhere and just painting. Like I would just love that right now. Like a Venice part 2, if you like. Don't know when, don't know how, but I would just really love that. So we'll see, maybe. I don't know where I would go is the thing. I feel like I just can't deal with going anywhere cold. Like I'm tired of being cold, and I haven't even been that cold because really and truly I'm not like, I'm not like a super soldier when it comes to not turning on the heating or anything like that. I just told myself I'll take the L. I'll turn the heating when I need and I'll deal with it later. So I just can't now leave this cold weather to go somewhere else and be cold again. Just can't do it. So obviously I have to wait for a while because everything near us is cold and I haven't got like Caribbean kind of money right now. And but yeah, I would honestly love a holiday. Where would you guys go to just paint and create if you could? Good shout. Aye. Really committed to this. Somewhere warm like Cornwall. I wouldn't mind Cornwall. Maui. I've seen there's this YouTube artist who like got randomly recommended. She's a YouTube like creator. She's not like an artist like paint or anything like that. And she was talking about Maui, and I was like, that would be stunning. I wouldn't even mind. I'd be up for Jamaica. I went to Trinidad a long time ago, and part of my plan was to go from Trinidad to Jamaica to St. Kitts. Like I wanted to go around all the islands, not all, but some, but definitely Jamaica. But then it didn't work out that way because I was on my own, and I was like, It's a lot to be going around by yourself, island hopping. And thus it didn't happen. But yeah, I'd be up for that. And Cornwall, yes, I've wanted to go to Cornwall for years. It's just that it's always so damn expensive. And I don't know why. And the thing is, I've heard it's beautiful, so I should just bite the bullet and go. But every time that it comes to like going, I'm like, it's literally cheaper for me to go to Italy than it is for me to go to Cornwall and stay. Because, like, okay, yeah, I have, I could borrow a car or rent a car, whatever, and then go. And the car itself isn't the issue. It's more the cost of staying is so much. But it's always on my list because I heard it's like one of the most beautiful places in the UK. I live in the UK and I've never been, and it feels like a waste. Or not a waste, like a shame. But Cornwall's definitely up there in terms of like places to go. I'd love to go to Hawaii as well, because I love the idea of just like going somewhere and chill. Trinidad was a lot of fun. I went to Tobago as well. I loved Tobago because I loved just chilling, like island life of just relaxing, see the beautiful sights, and enjoy. It was a bit up and down because like I was there to study and like it was a bit of a, I was a bit, it's not even necessarily homesick, but I didn't really know a lot of people there. So could have been better. Just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing at the bottom here. Sorry. Gotta love that coughing ASMR. Horse riding. Have I been horse riding? I've been horse riding once in Nigeria. But again, that's something I would love to try. Again, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if you ask my family, where's the place that we've been saying that we'll go as a staycation, it is always Cornwall because we always hear such wonderful things about it. Here I am, making it super dark. Da-da-dun-dun. I'm not putting up the volume, but the music does start to sound louder to me sometimes. And I don't know if it's like, because I can hear better or because I put it up before when it's quiet or it's just a new song or whatever. But if at any point it is too loud, too quiet, just let me know and I will change it accordingly. I want this. Ooh, look at that. I know some bits are unrealistically blue, but I don't even mind. Like, I'm loving it, in fact. And this here. Oh no, I'm going blue overload. It's going too far. Let's just pray that dries. Where did I say the sun? Let's just pray that dries appropriately. Dry from I'm gonna leave the house tour last. I know it looks massively grey, but believe me when I say that it's actually blue. I'm just trying to pick up some of the paint so that it's not as pigmented. So it's not as blue. But we'll see. I think once I add other things, it'll make more sense. Probably. Is that Payne's Grey? No, this is actually ultramarine blue mixed with cypress burnt umber by Remishwell. So I'm just mixing my own greys. Is it drying a lot lighter? Not massive, like not massively. Not massively lighter. I feel like when I was using the caddy paper, it was drying a lot lighter in terms of like the drying shift. I'd be like, oh whoa, that's not the color that I wanted at all. But with this, there is a drying shift, but it's not like a massive amount, I think. But I think you guys will probably be in a better position to tell. Going to use the blow dryer again. Do you see what I mean? Like it's now dry. I feel like the color shift isn't massive. I don't know if you guys would agree. Hope we're all ladies here. My bad. um, shall we start doing? Look at me. Treat my brushes better than I do. Do not let them sit in water. Not for a moment longer than you have to, especially if there are these types that will take forever to dry as a result. And yes, I would love to go to Portugal. Yeah, it's definitely a really nice mix. Like these two colors are massively underrated. I went to Portugal many years ago. I really enjoyed myself. Let me cover this. I'm just covering this so that I don't accidentally get droplets of water on it. Let's do the mountain. Oh, you can't see my mix anymore, can you? Should I put it here? That feels a bit risky. Let's risk it for a biscuit. Why I say it's risky is because my water will be here on this side, but then to pick up paint, I'll pick it up and keep going back and forth like that. Feels like asking for disaster. But then how will you see the beautiful blues that I'm mixing? I don't know what's wrong with me. You know, the beautiful blues that we're making. using thing. I mean, is there any technique to this at the moment, currently as it stands? No, I'm just creating rough shapes, doing wet on wet, wet on dry, primarily wet on dry. Um, Now that I've put that down, I'm taking some more. Like I'm just going to be using Cypress burnt umber and not Payne's grey, Cypress burnt umber and ultramarine blue to make different shades of blue, of grey, to add that to dropping that in this like wet area, and it's granulating like a beast, um, which is a good thing. And I'm just doing that. I don't want every bit to be connected. I don't want it to all be one shape. I don't want it to all be one color. I accidentally picked up phthalo blue, which I can tell because this is starting to look a tinge green. So I'm adding some more of the other colors to overpower that green because we don't want that. Well, I don't want that. I wouldn't mind it so much towards the bottom. We'll see. Just because I want trees, right? So I may try and start making the trees now and just let them blend into each other a little bit. Now I'm going to introduce some of that Payne's grey because I love adding Hooker's green to my Payne's grey. The only thing is, and we'll make it this well here, the only thing is that I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm hoping that there will be a bit more of a drying shift here, and I don't want it to be too dark because if I can, I want to try and like layer on top of it. And if I start off really, really dark off the bat, then you won't really see, and then I do it darker on top, you won't really see the layering effect. You won't really see why I bothered to do that. So I just need there to be some level of difference. And we'll see how that works. Sorry, guys. A wild ride in a good way or in a bad way. Good night, Laurie. Congratulations again and Merry Christmas. And surely, Dark Roast, this is not as bad as the time I tore my watercolor paper with the tape. That still cuts deep for me personally. Every time I look at that torn page, I'm like, wow, can't believe that happened. But yeah, I try not to let them sit in water, but every so often you will see that I will leave them for a massive amount of time, not forever, but certainly longer than they should be. I'll rest them. I need to get like a brush rest, basically. That's what I need in my life. I saw like a brush rest that would be a good one, but I just think it looks so ugly. Not ugly, but it looks so silly that even though it's not, like, I don't know, I don't like the look of it. So I was like, I don't want that on my desk. Hence I didn't get it. But it's very good because it allows you to let your brushes dry hanging upside down the way they should be. What have I missed? I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Colleen and Patricia. Oh, I would love that. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? Then you guys will know that, I'm slowly but surely making it. I don't know how many subscribers and things they would need, but I'll start prepping. I do I do look at the brushes that are getting made, and I'm like, oh, okay, these are the handles that have been used. What color would I make my handle? just just to make sure my colors don't get used and stuff. You know, so you never know. God willing, one day they'll call upon me, and I will answer that call with great honor. But no, they haven't. They haven't approached me. They even applied for like the YouTube Black Voices Fund, because I was like, oh, that would be good. Like, they as well. I think it comes with a grant, but more than that, it comes with like, they train you on how to make thumbnails, how to do this, how to do that, just how to like grow on the platform. And you also get to like network with other people and chat with other YouTubers and stuff. But I got rejected. It's a long story to that. um, I would love it. No, see, all my brushes are what am I doing? See, not letting it dry in a way that makes sense. I need to dry this whole thing again. All my brushes are, unless I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all my brushes are synthetic. I haven't gone out of my way to buy any animal ones. I mean, I'm not vegetarian or vegan or anything like that at all, but I was just like, if I can help it and not fall in love with an animal like animal brushes as a whole, then I will try, right? Like if I can manage, then I'll try. If I fall in love with them and I want to use them, then okay. Hey, yeah, no, and not to say like I said, I'm in no position to talk. I love eating meat, like I really do, and stuff. But I haven't used any. If I were to be given some, of course I would use them. I wouldn't throw them away or anything like that. But really and truly, I think part of the reason that it initially happened this way is that I'm cheap. So I was like, oh, they're more expensive. No, thank you. I'll just manage. And then still, yeah. I don't know. Every time, like for example, every time I go to Nigeria, I become a vegetarian. God give me strength. Like I'm a hypocrite when it comes to like meat eating. Like, not even is hypocritical the word? I don't know if it's the word, but what I mean by that is that here, I'm obviously like the meat doesn't look like the animal. So I'll go to restaurants, I'll eat meat and stuff like that. And even if I were to like, it, if I had a choice, I wouldn't eat like meat on bones. Like I don't like to be reminded that it's an animal. Basically, like obviously I know it is, but then when I go to Nigeria, all the meat is fresh, and I was like, bruh, yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't play with chickens one day and then eat them the next. It's a bit much. So when I'm there, I'm a vegetarian, which everyone finds weird. And then when I come here, I'm back to my me eating ways. Yes, I do mean the paint puck cup. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but yes, that's what I mean. It looks very practical, right? Because you can store your brushes the right way. So you're like taking better care of brushes, and um, it also stops them from getting your table wet and stuff. So by all intents and purposes, it is a product that makes sense. It solves an issue, but it just looks so childlike. I don't know. It looks a bit funny. So um, the more I talk, the more I feel like I'm sounding Nigerian. Anyway, it's just I just heard myself, and I was like, wait. Um, so that's why I haven't got it. But I would love to like design my own. When I say I started um like a little notebook of all these things that I wanted to like make my own of. I just don't know how, because I was like, oh, it would look better like this. It would work better like this. I just don't know how to actually make them. I was wondering about like a 3D printer, but I don't think it would actually work for the majority of things that I wanted to. Then, I wanted to make my own sketchbooks as well, because I was like, there is just certain things that I want to make the way that I want to make them. But alas, I don't even feel like I have the skill to make what I want to make. Does that make sense? So I haven't done that either. Just doing trees now, so I'm putting them down a bit darker, quite a bit darker to be honest. I think I'll only go back over it once, in terms of like there'll be 3 layers of tree. The background, this layer that you're seeing here, that I'm doing wet on dry, and then I will do one more that will almost be black. Not black, but like very dark. What kind of music? I'm playing everything on Epidemic Sound, but everything that it's now requesting, we have somewhat listened to. I wish I could listen to like pentatonics and stuff without getting struck. Yeah, definitely don't waste them. Can you actually imagine? Oh, lucky. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. It's so clever. I just want to like. I would love to make it. I'm not gonna say how in case they're watching. Still my idea of their idea of my idea. That makes sense. What else did I mix? Oh, sorry. Good night, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining. I may do that. Dark Rose, did you find that with the perfect sketchbooks, my concern was that they would fall, that it would fall apart if I just use glue. Have you found that? Like, I love the idea because also in theory they lay completely flat, don't they? I always find this song so sad. The other song I find really sad that like I love, but there's something about it that just is do you know Pentatonics, That's What Christmas Means to Me? Like for me, I don't know, there's something about like the lyrics are happy, like happy, they're fine, but I don't know what chords they're using. I don't know what it is about that song. It just sounds so like heartbreaking to me. And I don't know why. Hey, good ah, good morning, Lorna. This is so unbelievable that we have now been on so long that that the people in the US are gonna go to sleep and the people in the UK are waking up. Good morning, Lorna. That's fantastic. That's actually really good news. Um, because that was my main concern. And really and truly I was like, okay, fine, I'll do, I think it's called like Smith sewing. Like, I'll sew it in separate signatures and stuff. But then the idea of doing that has seemed so arduous that I haven't even started. Like, part of me feels like, okay, obviously it will be, you know, parts of it will be relaxing, but I haven't quite um I haven't quite convinced, like, worked myself up enough to actually do it. Like, I've bought everything I need. I have the paper, I have everything, and just didn't have the will to sit and sew it together. Okay, understood. And although, to be honest, if it's like, I don't mind like a book being a bit worn down. I kind of like that. It makes me feel like accomplished, like, I did something. um, but as long as most of the pages stay intact, I think I would call that a win. My initial pre-sickness plan was that I would go live. Well, initially I was like, oh, I'll just go live every day before Christmas for like a certain number of days. Um, can you tell I really love lives? It's like, I just love hanging out with you guys and chatting and painting and relaxing. And I feel like even if I'm not painting, the fact that we can chill and we can discuss anything paint related, I find very comforting. Thank you. I feel like, as they should, like, to me that then looks like super artistic. But then, and yet I want the inside to look completely pristine, in the sense that if I'm gonna add a little bit of cypress burnt umber to that green, is it enough? Is it enough? Is it doing what I want? Um, yeah, I want the inside to look like pristine. Um, I was thinking of, initially my plan for my etcher cover was to just buy a book cover. And although I will probably do that, it came to my attention very quickly that book covers are relatively expensive. So I will probably make my own book cover. But I was wondering if I should paint it anyway, because it's going to be covered, so it doesn't matter what I paint it like. Part of me kind of likes the challenge, or the idea of the challenge of painting it, although I don't feel like I could hold on to the canvas sketchbook, like the feel of the canvas, and be happy. Like, the idea of getting it dirty all the time would drive me to a not a good place. Um, if you know what I mean. Just need it to be nice and clean. So maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it's a hard balance to strike. I'm glad you understand what I mean, because yeah, that is essentially what I want. I want it to look nicely destroyed, in pristine condition, and yet like it's been through, like it's an actual artist's piece of work, and that it's come with me across the globe and all that good stuff. I don't know how I'm feeling about these trees in the back. There's certainly different colours, but I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I will judge it when it's all over. How about that? And then, do the mountains need a touch of something? Probably. Making this a little bit higher, just to give them different lengths. I'm very interested as to how I'm going to add snow to these trees. Might be one of them things where we take like a mental picture of what I have and what I'm working with, and then hope that it is okay when I go over it. Using a little bit of that ultramarine blue. What for, you ask? Just want to add a few more shadows here on the mountain. And I don't want them to be as dark as everything else, but I still want them to be somewhat there and somewhat noticeable. I want that one to be a bit darker, so looking for my cypress burnt umber. Keep picking up the wrong blue. Do I want it to be like this? Okay. Is it even still wet? It took so long that it dried. It was drying, but not quite dry. Is it? Almost midnight. I can't believe this. Hey, Yoli, welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've watched quite a few. I've watched Bitter Lemon. It's funny because I watched her for years before I did any art and before I even considered making my own sketchbooks. There was just something so I love stationery, and thus like I loved her channel. But no, that's a very good point. I will take another look and see. But no doubt when I do make it, I will probably refer to her channel. Just adding like little bits of blue next to the super dark that we had. So it doesn't all just look like one color. Yoli, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Whereabouts in the world are you? I'm so curious to know everyone's time in terms of, what time range this live stream has now become appropriate for. You will note that we have a super friendly bunch here. Feel free to tell me more about you, Yoli. What do you like creating? What do you like using? Only if you feel comfortable. Just doing the house, hence why I'm not looking up, because I'm using a brush just too big. Kind of want a little bit of sunshine there. We'll see how I'll do that. A little amount of snow. Gonna look up in a second. Almost ruined the door. Hold on this completely self-imposed pressure I've put on myself. Sorry for the sniffles. Huh. Made my windows too big. Okay, and how do I make... My back hurts. Friendly but sleepy. I'm getting sleepy too. Oh, that's awesome. Which medium did you gravitate towards? Do you know which one have you been experimenting with most? I want that to look like sunshine. I don't know if that will in fact look like sunshine, but no, we live and we learn, no? If we don't experiment, we'll never know. I would be lying if I said I completely remembered which side the sun was coming from. So that may vary from depending on which part of the painting you're looking at. Yeah. No, does it look like it's on fire for real? We'll see. If it looks like it's on fire, once it's dry, I'll just go over the whole thing in brown. I need to learn. That will be like another thing to aim for in 2023. How to paint cabins without them looking like they're in an inferno. There must be a way, right? Maybe I'm too heavy-handed with the yellow. I don't know. Need this house to dry because are we almost done? Doesn't feel like finished, and yet I'm like, I don't really know what else to add. Oh, maybe should we add the whitewash to the tree? Oh, Yoli, you have come to the right place because buying art supplies and practicing art are two completely different hobbies, both of which I love. So you are in a very, very good company. It's a well-known secret of the art world, you know. Um, but yeah, buying art supplies is addictive. You have to try all the supplies, all of them. No, I'm joking. You don't have to try all of them, but yeah, definitely, I 100% know the feeling. And in answer to your question, it's yes. I love buying art supplies, and I also love creating art. Um, and kudos to the people who can do one and not the other. Like to people who like just really love creating art more so than buying. I don't know how they do it. Mm. She went over it in whitewash. Well, that was pretty relaxing, wasn't it? Then she coughs and she bean me. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in third person. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop that. Um. Oh wait, has the playlist stopped? What's going on? I don't know this song. No, I don't want the guitar. I feel like the guitar is, it's not the kind of vibe I'm going for. But then you never know. Don't know, when I put piano, it's coming up with a few weird kind of songs. Guys, we're just gonna go back to the beginning. When in doubt. And I hope you weren't paying attention at the beginning. And thus, this is all nice and relaxing and fresh for you. Good morning, Sunny. Thank you so much for joining us. This is unbelievable. I am laughing because I can't believe that I started so late that I was there was just US people, no one in my time zone, apart from Patricia. And now we've gone so long that people in Europe are waking up. Mm. I considered doing a no buy. Oh, thank you. I considered doing a no buy. Then my mum was like, yeah, no, I don't think you can do that. And at first I was offended, and then I was like, can I do can I do that? So I said, okay, I'm not doing a no buy because perhaps that would be a bit too much, but I'll just be more conscious of my shopping and buy less when I can. And then I was also wondering, like, I'm kind of stuck on what to do with art hauls. Like, I've bought two lots of things that I want to show on the channel, but then I didn't want to, I don't know, don't want people to start being like, oh, you're doing too many art hauls. Then again, I feel like if people were really going to complain about that, they would have complained a long time ago because I've done quite a few in the channel. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not above blocking people. I'm not even like, I think the old me used to be like, oh, I can't block. It's, this is a space for everyone, you know. And then I realized, no, this life is too short. Anybody who makes me feel any type of way will get blocked. I won't explain. So, don't know. Oh, who am I seeing? You want more snow? Or you're saying that's a good touch of snow? I didn't want to overdo it because I kind of felt lucky with getting away with how much I've added. Good morning, Clever Paws. I can't believe it. My time zone is waking up, people. Welcome. Yeah, I think it was you who told me this initially when I was like, oh, what should I do with negative comments? Because I'm not going to lie, before I would literally be like, oh, it's okay, I'll just leave them there and then people can assess. And I was like, no, actually, this YouTube space, I'm working really hard to have it be a nice, positive community. And I feel like that is thankfully what we have built. No, like you guys are all awesome. You guys are all friendly. There's no like ugly cat fights or anything like that. Like, there's no nonsense. And that's what I want. And that's what I want to continue to maintain. And unfortunately, I have had to tell some people, like, if they kept leaving negative comments, I told them, like, look, your comments aren't helping either of us. If you dislike my channel or the way I speak or the videos that I'm making, I really just invite you to unsubscribe. Like, it's not by force. I would much rather, like, I can't even believe we're at over 4,000. But I'm so happy. I would much rather have 4,000 really good humans where we all chat and we have a good time and we enjoy ourselves than have 100,000 and everybody else is mean. Like, no. If it remained like that, I'm gonna get rid of this yellow. I feel like it's distracting us. And by us I mean me. So yeah. If as I think, and it's not even like free speech. It's like it will just be like unhelpful comments. Like someone was like, "Oh, I don't like it when you make shorts. I don't like it when you make live streams." I went back and every single comment that they had made had always been something that they don't like. Like I genuinely did not know what this person wanted on the channel. I just knew they didn't like it when I made shorts. They didn't like it that I did live streams. They didn't like when I did hauls. They didn't like when I did I had to tell them, look, thank you so much for highlighting everything that you don't like. It's not going to stop. So I think it's best if you stop telling me what you don't like and unsubscribe. Which was weird because then they replied and said, "Oh, but I love your channel." I was like, "Well, you've never said a single positive thing to me." And I replied to all comments, so it's not even like you think that you're speaking into the abyss. Although, fair enough, I have fallen behind massively, like massively, massively. It's don't even know how I'm going to catch up, but I will. I got rid of that yellow because I don't really feel like it was adding anything helpful to the situation. So instead, what I did is made it dark brown. It went from being a highlight to a shadow. Yeah, that was genuinely like my point. I was like, I accept that my channel will not be for everybody. Like, it's a fact of life, right? But I've never like gone to, and this is the thing that I think I found very funny because I couldn't relate with the idea of not liking someone's channel and going to tell them. Like, that's what had me a bit confused because I was like, it's different if like, okay, I'm doing an art channel now. If all of a sudden I started posting all videos about Bitcoin, obviously, one, you would think, have I been hacked? But two, you may voice your displeasure about the fact that, hey, you were doing art videos, like I really missed those videos. To me, that's different. But you can't come to my channel where all I do is make art videos and you complain about the length. They're too short, they're too long, they're too fast. I want to know less about materials. I want more of your paintings. I want less of your paintings. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. And I think if it's like an isolated thing, fair. But literally, I went back every single blessed comment this person had left was always negative, always about the things I did that they didn't like. I was like, why do you keep telling me this? Why don't you just stop watching? I was like, oh, this isn't helping either of us, like really and truly. I think it just means my channel isn't for you. Anyway, I don't know if they still watch my channel. But at least we know where we stand, eh? Thank you. Honestly, yeah, I feel bad. Just about how long it's gonna take me to catch up. Was that helpful? No, that wasn't helpful at all. And yet I feel compelled to do it again. What's wrong with me? Just making some more dark brown and doing some more shadows. But I don't think it's dark enough. You know how sometimes you can't really see because of the light. That's too dark because of the studio lights that I'm using. That's why I'm sorry, I'm probably getting my head in the frame. I think that's dark enough. We shall see once it dries. This shadow I've created makes no logical sense. None. And yet I still kind of like it, so And then while that's drying, let me just take some of that dark brown and add it to the chimney. Oh, good night, dark roast. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, thank you, Yoli. That's so sweet. Until next time. We've crossed time zones. What I need to know is like, what is a good time for everyone? Do you know what I mean? Because I personally, I am in awe of people like you, Yoli, and someone Claus. Was it cute Claus? Sunny and Clever Paws. Because I'm not a morning person at all. You would not catch me here at this time unless I haven't slept. So I think that's part of the reason that all my live streams are at like a ridiculous time. But it would be nice to know like when would work for everyone. If I were to do it in my afternoon, it would be afternoon for Europe. The thing is, it'd be morning for the US. Don't know if you guys would be watching that in the morning. Thank you, Yoli. That was me genuinely wondering what color I had loaded on the brush. Oh, gosh. Believe me when I say my plan was to do like before the year ended, I really wanted to do like a 12-hour live stream because then I thought like, well, that will solve it all, right? Like it will cross everyone's time zone and everyone can hop in and out. But now, I don't even know if I'd be well enough to do it. That blue is dark. Just dabbing off excess, doing some dry brush. Soft edges. I feel like this area in the back is too light. I hope that I am demonstrating why I love this burnt umber and ultramarine blue combo. Can you see like the variation that we're getting through using it? Just some dry brush here and there. And I feel like this should be darker. Like, thank you, Colleen. I imagine it will soon get to your... Oh my gosh, 1 a.m. Whereabouts are you, my artistic life? Thank you so much, Colleen. It's finally morning for me. Like officially, you know, decent morning. So I look like an early bird as opposed to a maniac who doesn't sleep. I will go to bed at some point. But I'll try and make it a nap rather than sleeping. I'm feels like I keep wasting the days by sleeping. My siblings are like, yeah, but you're sick. What else are you meant to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just still such a waste, you know? Like, oh, I stayed home and what did I do? Sleep. Like, okay. Um, not massively feeling this massive white area I've left. So just re-wetting it a little bit, adding a little bit of dry brush. I will probably put something there to give it some character. But then I don't want to get rid of all my white, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm keeping everyone up. Hey, Winnie. Welcome. Oh, no. You hope I feel, do you mean better? You can tell I sound sketchy. Get it? Sketchy. Um, yeah, I'm getting better. Like at least I don't think I don't think you understand. I could not get out of. There's a solid 2 days, as in like 2 days in a row, where I just could not get out of bed. I wasn't thirsty. I wasn't hungry. I didn't want anything. And what's worse is that I actually didn't realize that I missed a day. Does that make sense? Like I can't even remember the days because it all started merging into one. But I thought that I was waking up at the end of one day, and it was actually the end of the following day, and I was just like, this thing no be joke. Um, but you know, thank God for progress. Look at me now. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet, honestly. I really want to do more snowscapes. Um, can and I think the other part of this is that so it snowed here. I did not know. I did not know. In fact, because I had my phone and I wasn't looking at it most of the time, but every so often I would look, you know, I would my hip. I would talk to my mom, my siblings, yada yada. And they said, oh, it snowed. And I was like, oh, it hasn't snowed here because like I don't know, I looked out and I couldn't see any snow on any roofs. But I actually missed the snow because then when I finally went outside, I could see that there was like snow on the sides. I just completely missed it. So I'm hoping it snows again so that I can see it. I don't even like going outside in the snow. Like I hate being cold, but I like looking at it, you know? Like I would have loved to see the snow fall. Um I'd say I'd make myself a hot chocolate, but I don't have anything to make hot chocolate at home. But you know, make myself a hot tea and watch it. Come and behold him, born the King of Ages. I'm looking at this to see where this shadow is meant to be. I kind of feel like I did a little bit of a shadow, but I don't know if it counts as like a proper shadow for the chimney. Ba, 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 ba. Just adding tiny details with this tiny brush. Which I don't normally do, but as I have it, why not? Oh, thank you. I feel like at least I've done one that's like very clearly Christmassy. And that fits the name of this live stream. I thought I was going to be doing like baubles and reefs and stuff, but I think because, I don't know, I had snow on the brain. I was just thinking of snow. Uh-oh. This is not even small enough to do the details that I want. And I'm just adding snow on top of, you know, the windowsill. The door frame. This is looking very complete to me. If anyone sees anything to say the contrary, please feel free. Still moody, but I think that's just because of the greys I'm creating, you know? What do you think? Oop, almost tipped over my water. Let me, dropping everything. What do you think? That is impressive. Haven't had a snow day in ages. See, I'm just sad I missed it, to be perfectly honest. I think I wasn't one for snow, but I just love the idea of painting it. Like, I love the idea, and in the past, I wasn't really painting or creating much, so I didn't fully appreciate it. But now that I've been painting, I feel like everywhere I look, I try and see, like, everywhere I look looks more beautiful than it did before I painted. Thank you so much. I feel like I've done most of the details. Like, I don't feel like I want to add anything else really. Um Although I don't know, is it complete? Maybe it's a skill to know when to leave well alone, no? Mm. Mm. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to peel this off. I left this space. Isn't it always satisfying to have like a really nice white border? I actually left this so that I could make notes about the colors that I used. We'll see which one. Part of me is thinking, where's my bin? Part of me is thinking cut it in half and then like do a very slim line to say what it is for each painting. I might do that and then date it and everything. The other part of me is like give one a border and not the other, but I think I'll just cut it in half. As I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, but you guys probably haven't caught, this is 100% cotton watercolor paper by Saunders. No, by St. Cuthbert's Mill, but it's called Saunders Waterford watercolor paper. And it's a block, so it's glued on all four sides. And they actually sent me this as a gift. And they told me, like, you don't need to make a video or anything like that. Just try it. And I thought that was very sweet. So, of course, I featured it in a video. One thing that's quite distinctly nice is that it's not a struggle to take the front sheet off, which it was when I was using like other papers. Not to say that speaks to the quality of the paper or anything, but there was one paper that I actually almost tore because it was so glued, so stuck. So this is quite nice. One thing I wonder though, is this two-sided? Has anyone who used this paper, could you let me know? I'd be so scared about ruining the painting on the other side, if that makes sense. Oh, oh no, hold on. Block user. Thank you. I'm glad. See, that's how I feel about snow. I just want to view it from the comfort of my own home. Thank you. I will probably cut them. But yeah, if anyone knows about the paper, let me know. Could I use the other side? Part of me wants to try it, but then I'd be so sad if I ruin this. So maybe what I would do is take, like, not now, like at some point, take pictures or scan it so that I know that I can do what I want, and then flip it over, paint on it, see what happens. I mean, worst that can happen is that it will just reactivate and look like trash. Oh no, I'm dropping everything. I feel like Mary Poppins sometimes, like I have everything new. Yeah, I definitely need to sleep. Oh, I don't know, everything aches. But then I don't want to waste my day. I honestly feel like a child, like, when a child doesn't want to go to sleep. But I can relate, because I'm not even the type, when I'm tired and when I'm half asleep, I have no discipline. There is nothing I won't do to continue sleeping. That's the problem. I'm like my own worst enemy. I'm going to cut it in half. Are we ready? Don't paint on the reverse. Got it. Whew. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this white border, I know I left it there with a purpose, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? I don't know if I like it. If I don't like it, I'll just cut it off when the time comes and make the notes on the back. I just did it because I liked the idea of doing it like this. I liked the idea of having like notes about what color I'm using. So let's take ultramarine blue because that was like a staple. just do a little dot. And if I'm so pressed that I really don't like it, and here I think I'll do a line. Maybe I'll do a line on both, like a square rectangle. So we used ultramarine blue for the most part. And then we used ultramarine blue with burnt umber, cypress burnt umber. And I'll put like the dark version here. And the dark version here. And then I'll just water it down so that we can see all the different colors that we got from it. Because I really feel like that was the star of the show, you know? Mixing all these different blues. And then we used a little bit of just cypress burnt umber as well. And I guess I should feature the other colors that I used, although I don't feel like they had as big an impact on the painting as a whole. Sorry for the sniffing. But the other color that we used for this painting was like a touch of quinacridone gold hue for the sun. Whereas here, what we used was Hooker's green. So I don't do this nearly enough, but what am I missing? You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. Good night, Colleen. Sleep well. Yeah, no, you know, you're right. I know. Swatch and then do a painting on the back side and see. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea because I want to, even if I do the swatches on the back and paint on the front, like so that I can, maybe I could have just done the swatches on the back of this. We'll see. Some of yourself. Oh, I see. Thank you. I may put it back in then and see. Not see, but as in leave it. But yeah, you're right. This one, I think I let it dry in the block and it's super flat. Can you see? That was the first one I did that then completely similar color scheme, oddly enough. It got completely the video that I was recording didn't record. It stopped twice. So I don't know. It stopped in a weird way. So part of me actually wonders, I'm not sure why my phone did that. Part of me actually wonders if the footage is still there. You know, when you don't have memory and you stop, it stops recording and then sometimes it comes back. So I just want to write the note. So this is all Roman Schmore and it's ultramarine. Intense. This is ultramarine. Let me say Roman Schmore, ultramarine, intense, plus Roman Schmore, cypress, burnt, umber. Then this is Roman Schmore, cypress, burnt, Amber. And this is again Remishmore Hooker's Green. And today's date is the 18th. So it's the 18th of the 12th, 2022, and I will say live stream so that I will always remember that we made this together. Do you see what I mean? Why is it like this? You guys are out here watching my face. Whoops. Yeah, can you see? So then I have the color notes. And the same for this. I keep forgetting to date my work actually, which is very annoying. Anything that I recorded is not as bad, because then I can look back on the recording and find the date. Ultramarine Intense. But most things I didn't. Roman Schmore. Cypress, burnt, umber. Then Romish more. This one is a bit more snug. Cypress, burnt umber. And then the last one was Romish more Quinn Gold Hue. And like we said, today is the 18th of the 12th, 2022, and it was a live stream. Oh. Thank you so much. You're very sweet. Thank you so much, Sunfly. I do try. I've always prided myself on my handwriting. Although it does get, like, the busier I get, the less legible it gets, but I feel like most of the time it's legible. So here are the paintings from our live stream. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that it's been relaxing. I will not have time to edit any videos this weekend. And also I feel like I tried, kudos to my Ko-fi members, because I made a video that basically I'd started when I was well, and then it just needed a little bit of editing when I was unwell, like at the beginning of being unwell. So then I needed to do, maybe it's like a half an hour video talking through like my watercolor palette and my choices and my favorite mixes and things. And out of the 30 minutes, maybe 5 minutes required me to speak, which I did. And I kept recording over my speaking because it honestly sounded dreadful. And I was like, everyone's going to listen to this and be concerned. And then eventually, like, you know, you record short snippets and you try and sound as well as possible. And I put it up. But I was like, I don't know if my Ko-fi members are going to listen to this and be like, what? Because it will literally transition from me sounding completely fine to like voice over me. And I don't know. I feel like now my voice is much better. My dad, my dad, my brother, my sister, and Dark Roast disagree. And to be honest, I think Miss Ebony and Patricia were disagreeing about that before anyway. So basically, I feel like until I can fully hear what I sound like and I feel like I sound okay, I don't really want to make a video, like record a proper video. Like, for example, I wanted to make a video for St. Cuthbert's Mill to thank them for the paper. But then if I sound like a chain smoker, is that really a thank you? I don't know. So I'm not making a video this Sunday, more than likely, which is today. I don't think I'm not making a video today. I may make a video tomorrow, but it's unlikely. And thus, if I can't make a video, what I will do is I will go live if I feel okay. And then maybe we can paint some more snowscapes, no? And have some fun. As well as that, I'm making a video. I'm going to do a live stream about having a YouTube channel, which is a bit tricky because I know it's the minority of people who watch me who actually want to know that. So we'll see. But anyway, that's me rambling to say thank you so much for joining. And thank you so much for your kind words. And thank you for watching. Thank you if you were painting along. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for keeping me company and for your well wishes, for being a subscriber, for watching, just the whole thing. I really do appreciate you. And I really enjoy doing this. Like, that's why I did it. When I could have been in bed and when it was 3 a.m., I sound sick. When I was could have been in bed, I was just like, no, I really miss it. I really miss painting with you guys and chatting with you guys and laughing. So thank you so much for joining. If you would like to join my Ko-fi, please do. I'll leave that linked in the description for you. Or rather, can I link it on here? I feel like by now everybody knows it. So if you want to join, you can. But yeah, until next time, I hope that you guys have a wonderful Sunday and that you are warm and happy. At the end of the day, that's the main thing, isn't it? And in good health. Warm, happy, and in good health. But yeah, have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much. I will do. I'm like a day away from being in full health. I can feel it. The denial is strong. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas if we don't speak before then. Good night.